I wanted like a stain of this. There we go. Little bit of water in my life. Little bit of water in my salt shaker. Hi everybody, today I am going to be unboxing the April Paletteful Packs box and making something with whatever's in here. A while back, one of you asked me if I would get a couple of these subscription boxes, unbox them, and then make something out of whatever was in there on camera. And I wish I had saved the quote and I can't find it. So whoever you were, tell me in the comments, because I thought it was a great idea. So I looked into this. I found the Paletteful Packs. I looked at some of the previous boxes, thought it looked interesting, and so here you go. The Paletteful Packs are a subscription box. I got the month-to-month subscription, which is $35.95 per month for the Premier. I think that's what it is, the Premier box. They have a smaller box as well, and then one for kids. I got the biggest one because go big or go home, right? It's $35.95. You save money if you pay more in advance, but because I don't know if I'm going to like these or not, I didn't want to commit to 3 months in advance or whatever. So I got this one, and I'm going to get the next one maybe, and we'll see kind of how it goes from here. So if this is something you are interested in, I hope that you enjoy this, because this is a little bit different than what I usually do on this channel. The shipping, by the way, is free in the US. And it looks like this month is paint pens. So it's a bunch of Posca paint pens, which we'll look at in just a second. What I'm excited about already is that I'm no stranger to these. These were some of the pens that we used on the regular at Trader Joe's to do the big chalkboards and signs in the store. So I've actually got a lot of experience with pens like these. It's not something random that I have no experience with. So yay. Well, I'm glad that this stuff is paper because I can recycle that. I don't like it when stuff gets packaged in things that I can't recycle because I'm a hippie. All right, so it looks like this is a wood panel. It is 8 by 10. Kind of looks like a canvas in the back. That's interesting, I guess, to hang it up. And then there is also this little gessoed canvas, which is 5 by 7. And then these are slap stickers. There's a plain one that says hello, my name is, and a shiny like hollow one as a bonus to write on as well. I'm gonna get this box out of the way. Now looking at the little situation that came in here, there are medium, extra fine, and brush. I didn't even know that Posca made brush paint pens. That's really cool. I'm excited to try that. My personal favorite style of paint pen are the Zig Woodcraft paint pens, and I like the chisel tip. These Posca ones I know are good because I've used them before. So this is blue, and it is the medium bullet tip. This one is white. It is also medium. Red, medium, yellow, medium, green, medium, light blue, medium. This is a black, it's the extra fine tip. And then this is the black, and it's a brush tip, which again, I'm excited about. It gives you some instructions on how to start Posca pens. I don't actually need those instructions because, like I said, I've used these. So I am going to really quick grab some paper towels and get set up, and we will create something on this wooden panel. I already know what I want to do, just looking at the size of this and looking at the colors, and I want to play with the brush pens. I had thought about doing something on the black gesso, but I'm thinking I might save that for like a project in case I would like it. So I'm going to be using this. Now, the key with a pen, a Posca pen, any other paint pen, is that you can't just start using them. And the tip I will give you from using these for 10 plus years, pens like these, and being frustrated by them, being annoyed by them over and over again, I have some tips for you on how to use these. And this is exciting for me that I actually own a bunch of these. I don't have most of these Posca ones because, like I said, I prefer a different brand, but these will be really handy. Some of the freelance work that I take on, I do with paint pens. So having these, it's actually not just for fun, for art for me. I'll actually be able to incorporate these into some of the work that I do, if I can ever get all the plastic off of them. So much plastic. So the key with the Posca pen, with any paint pen, especially a water-based paint pen, or an oil-based as well, is you need to shake the fuck out of it. You have to shake it. You're gonna wanna keep the cap on because you don't want there to be a mess. I think I'm gonna start with this like extra fine black one. So it's really short. So you shake the fuck out of it. This one you think you've shaken too much, you keep shaking. The more you shake it, the more opaque and consistent the ink will be. If you don't shake it a lot, sometimes the ink can come out kind of watery, and you don't want that because then it's hard to fix. This side. All right, so once you've shaken it up, you see the tip is white, And it'll be the same white, cream, whatever. It doesn't have any paint on it yet. So you have to prime it to be able to get the paint flowing. So then you take a paper towel, something like that, and you just go up and down like this. And you can check, and you'll see, sooner or later, you'll see paint starting to work its way down the tip.
Yeah.
What you don't want to do is just press and hold it down, because what'll happen is the paint will just like spooge out of there and go everywhere. And you don't want that. You don't want paint like running. Now you can do that. You can either hold it down to release some paint, or you can just pull the nib out completely and just dump some of the paint out if you want to use a paintbrush with some of this for details, and I may wind up doing that. But if you want to actually use it like a pen, then you need to just keep doing this, and especially the first time around, it's going to take forever for you to prime it. Gain exercise for Wednesday nights in my house. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see very well here or not, the paint is starting to come into the tip. And now you can see it's starting to appear on the paper towel. So once you test it and it's coming out, you're good to go. Now the other trick you want to remember is when you're writing with these, and this is hard for me with someone with a heavy hand, but I have learned this to my pain on multiple occasions, is that when you're drawing, lettering, writing with these, you need to use a light hand, because if you press down too hard, that tip is going in, and what did I already say happens? It spooges everywhere. So you need the tip to like draw on the surface, but you don't want to push down so hard that the tip is pushed into the pen, because that leads to badness. I feel like I'm super educational right now. Maybe I'm just really excited that for once, like I got these things and I was expecting to have to figure it out, and instead there's something I'm super familiar with, and I'm excited. You can see it's starting to like the wood, it's like spreading in the wood. I'm okay with that. It's going to be a slightly sloppy look, and I'll live with it. Also notice if you put your hand in it, you're going to smear the fuck out of everything. I'm going to try and use every color in this. We'll see if that works or not. Okay, we're gonna do some experimentation here. I'm gonna take some red and some green, and I wanna mix them together to make kind of a grayish color. I was gonna use white and black, but I only have the one white marker, and I really want that white marker to survive. I go through white markers really quickly when I'm doing any kind of side projects, so let's not run out of that. So instead I'm gonna mix green and red because they're complementary colors, and they should make some kind of a neutral. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not. We'll figure it out. So I've got some red and some green. I've just got this cheap paintbrush that I'm going to mix. I would never use my good paintbrushes for this. And it's making a nice kind of neutral color. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but we'll see. I don't need it to be super dark. I just want it to have kind of a faded look. This is not going to be enough. Try a little bit of water. See if I can work this a little bit more. These are water-based. Wanted like a stain of this. There we go. Little bit of water. Little bit of water in my life. Little bit of water in my salt shaker. In case you can't figure out, that's what I'm doing here. I hope you could by now. One of my favorite things about these paints is you can generally tap over some of your mistakes. I'm gonna go back over that after it's a little bit more dry. There we've got my kind of my sullen salt shaker going on. Now the next thing I wanna do is frame this. And I think I wanna use the two blues for that because there's two blue colors. I can layer them. And I will be cleaning this mess up in a little bit. So I used the ruler to start a line, but I didn't want I wanted to just go over it a few times. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just kind of wanted it to be sort of close. And so I'm taking it about half an inch away from the edge of the situation here. And I'm working too fast and it's still smearing. And I'm at the point where I don't give a fuck, which is basically what happened every time I worked at Trader Joe's. Now, the nice thing about these paints is that they are water-based, so you can generally clean them up with water. I use paint pens on, if it's like not a wood surface, but if it's like a smooth surface, like as an example, I just lettered on a mailbox that had a kind of like metal surface, and I was able to, when I screwed up, I was able to wipe it off and start over again. You can do that. Now, a surface like wood, it's going to be a lot harder. When we were at Trader Joe's and we would work on chalkboards, we would clean the chalkboard off with like wipes and water. But then afterwards, we would spray it again because there'd be ghosting. But on certain like glossy or smooth like glass, you can usually clean these off and use them again. So I've got one frame. Now I'm going to take the darker blue and I'm going to go around it one more time. Now, if you want a trick for freehanding lines that look kind of straight, especially if you have a guide, you don't want to move your hand. You don't want to go like this. You don't want to do that. You want to move your arm. Move your arm and you will have a higher chance of a more straight looking line. I'm still not a master. Some people joke that I'm really good at freehanding, but I'm somewhat good at freehanding, but I'm not like fabulous at it. And that's one of my tricks though, is to just move my arm in one steady motion like this. Of course, I'm going to say that. I'm going to probably fuck up. And then you have a relatively straight line. I was going to go around the edges with black, but I'm not going to, so I'm going to see if I can get this blue off here. Yeah, well, close enough. Whatever. I'm going to give this to my 15-year-old, I think, when I'm done with it, so it doesn't have to be perfect. The worst is when your hand is sweaty and it catches on the smooth surface, and then your smooth, straight line is not straight anymore. As I am a sweaty motherfucker, this happens to me way more often than I would like to admit to. What colors have I used? I've used the green, I've used the red, which is good. I want to kind of go cool tones with this, so I don't really want to use those on their own. I've got yellow left, and then I've got just the black. Maybe I'll do a yellow inside frame. No, I'm going to save the yellow. I think I'll save the yellow. So I think we're ready to bust out this brush pen and give that a try. I'm super curious. Oh, it's like a fiber brush pen. It's not like a solid brush tip. It's got fibers. Starting this brush pen is a little different, it feels like. Oh, I see. There's like a button on the end. Yep, there's the black. It's coming out. This was confusing for me. That's okay, though. So this little lid covers up the button that you press to get the paint flowing. The first thing I'm going to do is use this brush pen to take care of the drop shadow here. Which I feel like was a little bolder than I wanted it to be, but at least it covered up the shit that I was trying to cover up. Now I'm going to do some brush lettering. We're going to see how this goes. So the brush pen is working okay. It's very loose. So if that's something that stresses you out, I would be very careful with it. I feel like it's the skinny tip, the ultra fine tip, that's causing all the spattering. A little bit more crooked, lost a little bit of lettering chicken. I'm not worried about that too much. I'm going to fill it in with the brush pen. And notice I left a little kind of like cutout in each of these that I'm going to use to pop in some of that yellow for a highlight. I can imagine this black pen, this like brush pen, may run out really fast. There's some salt everywhere. The reason I'm doing this past the salt is because it's a running gag in our family that Katie is super salty. And so this will be a nice little reminder of that for Katie. Actually, I have a different idea. I'm gonna put the blue on the inside. It's still somewhat opaque on top of the black. That's one of the nice parts about paint pens. Just gotta make sure it's got a good shake going so it stays opaque. And now I'm gonna put yellow around the outside edges, and then I'll put yellow for the drop shadow on the salt. There we go. I think we're good. I think I can leave it alone now. That's my invention with the Paletteful Packs. I hope that this was interesting for you. Did you learn something interesting in this video? Did you learn something? Did you want to try giving paint pens a shot, or maybe ordering the box and giving it a shot? Not sponsored. I paid for this with my own money. I'd love to know your thoughts on both art subscription boxes in general. Are there some you really love? Do you have an art subscription box, whether Paletteful Packs or otherwise, that you really love? Do you want to give this a try, give paint pens a try, anything like that? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.